All right. Yeah, so I'll just let the kids know we have Keith Gleason on, writer of Mighty Mascots from Alterna Comics. Yeah, so we're a local comic book club.
Okay, that's
Right
awesome.
now all of our meetings are Zoom, but usually we would do a reading about once a month. So we get a book from our local comic book shop, and all the kids get the same. I give them all the same book, and then we read through the book together,
Oh,
and I'll
cool.
assign characters as we're reading it, and we talk about the book and like some of the like meaning behind the writing and things like that. Um,
Oh, wow. And
and
so Mighty Mascots was one of the choices.
yeah, Mighty
That's
Mascots
awesome.
was one of our books. So it's I try to give a good, well-rounded kind of option for from all different publishers, and
Okay.
try to do some indie books, and of course we have to make it so try to find books that are like rated more E for everybody or
Yeah.
T, something that everyone can kind of get into. So yeah, this was a great book. It was hilarious,
Thanks,
right
man.
off the bat, the kids really picked up on the humor and the parodies.
Oh, great.
So just first question, one of the kids had a question today,
Okay.
and they wanted to know where um, the Martian, what's his name, Mondo Martian came from, what his parody was.
Well, yeah, they're all like kind of like archetypes of like famous cereal mascots.
Right.
Mondo's kind of like a deep cut though. It's like the kids probably don't even know this cereal ever existed, but there used to be a cereal called Quisp.
Yes,
Have you
I
ever had that
remember
cereal?
Quisp. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you ever look up you can look up pictures of the mascot on like Google. It's like a weird alien dude. Um, and that was sort of my inspiration for Mondo. Is like I knew I wanted like an intellectual character to be on the team, and I thought, why not like a big-headed Martian, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. They got all of the references. I was really surprised by some of them, that the kids were able to pick up on them so quickly. But yeah, they really got them, like the Snap Crackle Pop
Yep.
robots.
Yeah.
Were great. Those are great. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
my whole purpose of the title was to kind of skirt that line of like being funny, but also like having it be like a superhero book that we grew up with, like in the style of like Silver Age or like you know what I mean, like the when comics weren't so serious, you know what I mean, like
right.
fun like Saturday morning cartoon kind of vibe to it, you know. And
Yeah, and it had a very Saturday morning cartoon vibe, and some of it with the commercials in there,
yeah,
it really gave that feeling of sitting down with some cereal and watching
yeah,
Saturday morning
that's
cartoons.
exactly what I was trying to go for with it. And I'm hoping like I'm doing a crowd funder in the next couple of weeks for the second storyline. Um, and that probably won't be out till maybe the end of the year, maybe early next year. And that's going to just continue the storyline from where it left off.
Oh,
Um,
that's great. Yeah, it had a really good story as well. And
oh,
I
thanks.
think the kids, they really liked they really like books that don't dumb it down. They like books that are rounded enough to where they can read it because of the rating,
Yeah,
but they're also that provides a lot of more adult puns, or that something they can pick up on, where it's like, oh, this person is forcing me to actually think about this a little bit,
yep.
and it's
That's
not just,
exactly
they're not spoon feeding me the information.
Yep. That's exactly the approach I took too. Is I wrote it in the style and like the kind of comics I grew up with, like where you kind of went into it and it was like a little more I don't want to say adult, but it was a little more, it wasn't like baby stuff. Like when I was reading
Right.
Spider-Man, when I picked up my first Spider-Man, and I think a random person had died in the issue, and I'm like, wow, you don't see that on Amazing Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. But it wasn't like the guy was like blown open or anything. It was just the guy was shot, and they didn't, like you see in a PG movie or something,
Right.
And it's like the comics didn't try to dumb that down or hide that from me, And I think that's why I gravitated towards comics when I was a kid. Like I felt like I was reading something that was, like a little more mature than like the stuff they were giving us on cartoons and things like that, And so that's what I kind of tried to write it like, I didn't put any offensive things or, I tried to be like, well, a kid could kind of understand this or maybe go look into what this is or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you did a great job. It
Thanks.
really makes it accessible to them, but also enjoyable for anyone who wanted to pick it up and read it.
Yep.
It
That's
doesn't have to
exactly
be.
what it
It's
is.
not like it's for kids. It's for everybody.
Yeah. And that's,
Yeah.
what's funny. I don't know why comics ever got away from that, but comics used to be for everyone, Now it's like you go in the store, there's the kids section, there's, the
The
adult section.
adult. Yeah.
I don't know why they ever got away from that, Like I think, I don't know. That's why maybe that's why I was meant to bring it back. I don't know. That's
Well, and I really like how, and I don't know if this was your choice or if Alterna like approached you about it, but being on the Alterna label, and making it even more accessible for kids with that price point.
oh yeah.
And it's great because a lot of the kids, what we'll do is I'll introduce them to like a first issue, and then it's up to them if they want to continue and move forward with it.
Right.
And all of them are looking for all the rest of the issues because they want to keep reading the story and they want to see how it ends.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, and the cool thing about it is that they could all pick it up for each issue for $1.50. I mean, it makes it really accessible. I like Alterna with how they're bringing back the old newsprint and
Yep.
kind of getting away from those $5-6 books, they're great books, but a lot of them are for the adults, are made more to collect than they are to be read.
Right. And you get less pages nowadays too. I mean, it runs everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that's part of the reason why I pitched to Alterna is because I saw what they were doing with the newsprint and the lower price tag, and I just said, I'm all for that. I think it's a brilliant idea. I noticed, it's harder like when I'm at a convention to make the money back a little more because of the lower price. But I am selling a lot more because of the lower price. So it kind of evens out, when I show people like the whole mini series, it's like you get all 3 issues for $5. People don't even really think about it. They're immediately handing me the money, which, it's like, that's great, but if it was like $5 for just 1 issue and you had to pay 15 for all 3, I think that's when people would be like, well, I don't know, it's a lot of money,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it does help the lower price point, it does get it into a lot of people's hands, which is nice,
Yeah, definitely. Well, send me that link for the whole books because I think all my kids want to get them.
Yeah. You can either get them through my website or through Alterna. You might find some other stuff on their site too that would be good for them. I know they do have a few other all ages books that they might enjoy too.
Yeah, there was another one that we read, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but it was about a kid with Down syndrome, and his dad was a superhero, and he wanted to be a superhero like his dad.
Yeah, I forget the name of that one, but that's good. I've read that. It's really good.
Yeah, and the kids really enjoyed that one too. They really liked that one. They wanted to get the rest of those.
Yeah, I think they only did 2 of those, so it's not too much to not much of a commitment. It's only 2
Right.
issues.
So did Alterna hook you up with Ian, or was that did you already work with him before and approach Alterna with the the team up between you two?
Actually, no. It's funny. I had another artist that was going to be the Mighty Mascots artist before Ian. His name is Frankie B. Washington. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Not
He does
familiar
some
with Frankie
stuff for
Walsh.
Alterna. He's done like covers for it came out on a Wednesday, and I think he did like a couple like short stories in that anthology. But he was the original artist, and then when I pitched it to Peter originally, it was a whole different other book. So after talking to him, we decided on different things for the storyline and this and that. And Peter was like, "Well, if you want to redo it and then repitch it, I'd definitely be interested in this book." So I went back, and then Frankie wasn't available at the time, or he wasn't. Actually, he wasn't really into really wanting to redraw the entire thing, which I can't blame him. Like as an artist, I know I wouldn't want to draw the entire issue again. So he was okay with me to shop around for a new artist, and I actually found Ian through Facebook. Oddly enough, I went into a bunch of independent comic groups, and I just put up a post saying, hey, I'm looking for an artist for my series, and this is what, come show me samples, and give me page rates, and then all that fun stuff. And I got about a submission, probably about 100 people or so. And then Ian just was the one I liked the best out of all of them. There was a couple other really good artists, but Ian, I just felt like his style fit the series perfectly.
And it definitely does. Yeah, and right off the bat, the kids and I just really drawn into the artwork. And it has this great style of almost like graffiti art, and it works with the story so well.
It does, yeah. And his action, the way he draws action is like just so dynamic, and I wanted all of that. I wanted to have that look, and I think he just nailed it.
Definitely. Yeah, he did a great job, and a lot of his perspective scenes, and like you said, the action scenes, they're just great, and they really draw you into the story.
I agree.
And I'm looking at this one here particularly. I think all the kids really liked that one with Captain Crunch, or his his avatar coming at you with the hand cannons.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know if are you able to share? Am I able to share my screen with you on this?
Oh yeah.
If you want, I can show you guys some of even for your video, a couple of the designs for what I'm doing with the second storyline. So I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news with Alterna lately, but they broke free from Diamond Distributing, and they're doing distribution on their own now. So they're breaking away from like the miniseries format, which I guess was the only reason they were doing the miniseries format was for Diamond. So he let all the creators who have a book at Alterna have the choice on whether we wanted to be an ongoing series or keep going as miniseries. So I chose to do Mighty Mascots as an ongoing series. So this next storyline will actually be issues 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, so they're doing like mini trades almost.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so a title can keep going. It's not going to come out monthly, but it's like every issue you produce will be like the next issue. You know what I mean? Instead of starting over from number 1, which is kind of good because you can build up.
That's a
build
cool
up
idea.
an audience. Yeah, I agree. I love what he's doing. But so the second series that I'm working on now, so it's going to continue where it left off. So it'll be like 6 months later after the whole incident with the Crown team and Muckmouth and all that. And then there's going to be like an outbreak of like evil video game mascots. So that's going to be our next miniseries. And they're going to be led by kind of like a hipster kind of weirdo named Jordan Tecmo, which is sort of like a nod to Tecmo Bowl. I don't know if
yeah.
Guy.
I like how the hipster is going to be the bad guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm gonna have him wearing like kind of like like a Rubik cube shirt and like the hipster glasses and things like that.
And a little trilby or something.
Yeah. Yeah. But then his lair is gonna be like in an old arcade, so he brings all the video game mascots to life to help him out with his plot. So
I can't wait to see some of those.
I have
those
a
parodies.
few designs from Ian. If you want to let me share the screen, and I'll show you guys a couple of them here.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, you should be able to if you go down to the menu. There's a share screen option.
Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, cool. All right, so let me see. Let's see.
That's Mario. That's great.
That's the first one. That's Plumber Paisano. And then,
Plumber Paisano.
So I figured an evil Mario be kind of fun, And then here is the other one, Snappy
Hairfoot.
Figure you have like
that is awesome.
Type, And then I have on here somewhere the pencils for the 4th issue cover. Let me see if there it is. So that's the 4th issue cover. Can you see that? Hold on. Hang on. I think I messed it up here. There it is. Can you see that well, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's great looking.
In a little bit. So here's like, so this is the cover design for 4. We got like the Mega Man, yeah. Donkey Kong,
yeah,
and a Mario, the Sonic guy. You got the Street Fighter guy, and then Laura Croft.
Yeah,
they're all sitting on top of the mascots, which I thought that was a great image.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, that is. I love it, man. You have the mascots up against the mascots.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm going to do with most of the storylines, It's going to be like them trying to stop like an evil version of a mascot, Like
yeah.
I could go, probably I have at least like 4 separate storylines planned out right now. But now that it's monthly, I could even go further with that, do one and done like that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love it. That's awesome.
And I have some Indiegogo, like this is going to be on Indiegogo, probably like next week or the week after. And I was going to say, I got some, let me see if I can find them. I got some exclusive covers coming for issue 4 that you can only get through Indiegogo, which is kind of fun.
Oh, nice.
So these are 2 covers that are going to be available with the Indiegogo.
Gugliotti. Yeah.
Do you know Chris Gugliotti?
Yeah.
He does a comic strip called Playing Dead. He's a good friend of mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so he did one for me, and I love his. I love the hangover kind of thing going on with Mondo and the baby, the baby thing.
Yeah, that's great.
I like this one. This one's one of my old artists I worked with. Kind of like a breakfast commercial gone wrong,
Yeah, that's man, I like the art on that one too. It's really in
Yeah,
depth.
he's good. He does some stuff for he's done some stuff for some small publishers like IDW and stuff.
Yeah.
And then these are two other ones I have. These are more friends of mine. This is Matt. I met him at a convention a couple years ago. And Jesse, he's a good friend of mine. He's going to be doing a cover for Alterna soon. Like it came on a Wednesday, I think, at some point. And then I got let me see. I got this one by my friend Ed Smith.
Oh,
Which
that's cool.
is very cartoony, you know.
Yeah, very Powerpuff Girl kind of
Yeah.
style.
And then I got. Do you know Chris Giarusso?
Not familiar with Chris Jerusalem.
He does mini Marvels. He used to do mini Marvels for Marvel.
Okay.
G-Man. You ever hear of those books?
Yeah, yeah.
It's very cartoony. Almost looks like Peanuts. I got him lined up to do a cover if we can hit like 300 backers. So I'm hoping that'll happen. So these are part of the pictures I'm putting on the Indiegogo. But yeah, let me see. So yeah, so that's kind of like the fun stuff I got coming up. Sorry,
Nice. That's all right. I'm surprised my dogs haven't been barking.
Jumping on there, yeah.
That's great, man. Yeah, that's exciting. I'm definitely gonna keep everyone up to date on what's going on and what's coming out. I'm sure you're gonna have some new followers from like 7th and 8th grade kids. So
great.
If you start seeing a whole bunch of like Instagrams hitting you.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Yeah, have them hit me up. I'm on all of that stuff. Instagram. I'm probably most active on Twitter, but I have Instagram, I have Facebook, I have all that stuff. So anyone can hit me up there. Yeah, my website, if you want it, it's called recklesssidekick.com.
Okay.
That's like my quote unquote production company, but it's just me and my wife pretty much. But Reckless Sidekick, you can see all the other comics I've worked on over the years, and like of course Mascots are on there, and I have a store section if they want to buy the issues there.
Okay.
They can also get them when I do the Indiegogo. I'm going to offer the first mini series again if people wanted that, rebuy it there, they can, or add it on, yeah, pretty much this, or just search for Alterna's site and you can get everything there as well. They have it digitally too. If they're digital readers, you can get the issues for like $1, I think, on Alterna's website.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's a good deal.
Yeah, definitely. They're all about giving you the bang for your buck, which I love.
Yeah. Well, you have some fans here in Denver. If you ever come out here, let me know. We'd love to come out and see you.
Isn't there a good? There's a good Comic-Con in Denver, isn't there?
We have the Denver Comic-Con.
I heard of that one.
It's been the 3rd largest behind New York.
Really?
Yeah, over the past like 3 years.
It's like I'm always like looking to. I mean, nothing's probably going to happen this year, obviously, with the COVID. But like, I'm always looking to try to, because I'm up in New England and I've been to every show up this way. So I'm always looking to try to go to a different show every year, like out of my comfort area, go to areas and stuff. So I'll keep that one in mind because that would be.
Yeah, keep that in mind. If you're ever out here in January, we put on through the club, we do a mini Comic-Con.
Oh, cool.
It'd be awesome to have you out. We have about 60 different artists, authors, publishers. It's just a one-day event.
Yeah.
But we've been growing every year. We've gotten a little bigger. And so it's weirdly coincidental, but this year we always kind of advertise ourselves as the first con of con season. So
it's true because up this way, I don't think anything starts until like April.
Yeah. So we do it the last weekend in January, and it kind of gets a lot of our local artists. It's kind of their startup to con season. And
I love that stuff. I love when they support indie comics and any sort of way, you know?
Oh yeah, and everyone that comes is local. We're getting to the point where we may have been able, after this whole thing, we'll see, but next year we may have been able to bring in some people from out of town, like a little bit, not too far out, but
Yeah,
maybe
like you
like,
pay for like gas or like
yeah, like Texas, Arizona, maybe one or two artists we would have been able to bring out. But now I will have to see with everything that's gone on. We
yes.
haven't been able to
I,
table and
I run a show too on my side, and like we were slated for August, and it's just like it's just not gonna happen. It's just, you know,
yeah.
we're getting to that point where it's like we just gotta cancel, you know, because it's just things aren't getting better up this way, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a new environment we have to try to live with now.
Yeah, I'm curious
But
to see how it'll affect cons like going into next year, you know.
yeah, me too. Right now we're still planning on doing our con next year, but I will have to see how everything goes in November, December.
Yeah,
And our planning is definitely going to be starting a lot later than we usually do, so it'll be a little hectic as we get closer to it.
yeah, and then have to kind of combine it all into like 1 month, trying to. I get it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is we go through the school, so we have it at our
You have them at
school
your
that we meet at.
yeah,
Yeah, and so we're part of the school, so they don't charge us for the space. We've
that's
grown every
good.
year. Yeah, and so next year we're going to be getting close to our maximum like space that we can utilize through the school. So we are projecting probably in about 2 years growing out of that space and maybe either renting a space like a small convention center for us,
Yeah.
or maybe moving to like some kind of high school that has like a bigger space available, something like that.
Yeah, you could also look into like when we did our show the first time, we did like, you know, like little VFW type of things,
Yeah.
and those were good. You could fit about 40 tables in there and stuff. But like we actually moved to a hockey rink, which is one town over, and you know, we do it in the summertime when there's no ice on the rink,
Yeah.
and we put all the tables and like everything on a hockey rink. And usually it had, I mean, it is some money to rent those, but it's been consistently the same level of rent every year, versus if you go to a hotel where whenever they see a crowd, they're like, oh, this guy's got some money, and they try to raise it up every year, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting. I haven't thought about spaces like that.
yeah, like I mean, I don't know if there's a hockey scene there, and if they, you know, like here in the summertime they don't do any hockey, so they get rid of the ice, so it's
Yeah.
easy to just throw everybody in there, and it works out good because everybody can kind of come through where the Zamboni entrance is and everything, you know.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah,
so
we've got a couple spaces. It's not the hockey spaces, but they're like some uh like not really convention center, but we have like these indoor kind of new hipster malls that are opening up. So
okay,
they
yeah,
have like breweries in them, and there's little like cheese shops. But the couple of ones that we've had they have little event spaces.
oh okay,
So I've been talking to one of them about maybe partnering up and utilizing their event space, because we bring in about this January we brought in about 1,500 people.
that's pretty
Um,
good.
yeah,
It's actually really good.
yeah, it's not bad for a 1 day event.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Do you guys, is there admission with your show, or is it like
No, we do it. So we make it free for everybody. So it's free for all of our artists, all of our vendors. It's
great?
free to come in. It's basically our biggest fundraising event for the club.
Oh,
So
cool.
we do like a suggested donation
Oh, okay.
when you come in. But if we don't force anyone to donate. We do raffles throughout the day. So a lot of the fundraising comes from the raffles. and then some comes from donation.
That's cool. So that makes it worth it. So you have,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
yeah, that's
definitely.
great.
And then we could do sponsorship as well.
Yeah. So that would be how you would, and approaching it like that, you know, if you looked into a rink, you might, I don't know, they might cut you a deal, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
maybe. And
Yeah.
so that's what we've been trying to do. You know, there's one hockey rink over here that I can think of, that's fairly close by. But you know, that's not a bad idea. Like
Yeah,
something
no,
like that, or
you can fit a good chunk of tables on there if you
yeah,
design it right. I mean, it's almost the size of like a medium convention, you know.
yeah,
It
yeah,
all,
they are.
you know, and it's just like I said, if you go to a hotel, you got to worry about them like raising the rent every time you do a show there. Like I know somebody that's doing a show at a hotel right now, and every year everything goes up, and it's just like, just I would hate
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah, then and I know some shows that we have, they're running into some similar issues. We have a small show that happens, and it's a indie show called Dink, Denver Independent Comic
Oh, I've heard of
uh,
that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Convention. Yeah, and it's a cool show, but they're doing it at this city-owned building downtown, and they've kind of grown out of the space, and they've been looking for another space, but everyone wants to just really overcharge them for utilization. So
No, I believe it. Yeah.
yeah,
Anytime they can see it, they see a crowd and they see money. You know,
yeah,
that's all they see. You know, unfortunately.
yeah, definitely. Well, it was great talking to you, man.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah, anytime you want to drop into
Yeah,
the club meeting.
now that I know that it's just like available on the Facebook. Did you send me the Facebook page link, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's just the Landmark Comic Book Club.
Okay.
And that's what we are everywhere, just the Landmark Comic Book Club.
Okay. Yeah,
Instagram,
and you
Facebook,
guys put up
YouTube.
whenever you go live and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'll join in one of these days just to
cool.
pop in and say hi to everybody. And
Yeah, the kids would love it. I'm sure they'll ask a bunch of questions, you know.
all right, yeah. I'd love to. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot, and
Thank you.
stay safe with everything going on. You know.
Yeah, you too, man. Take
right,
care.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.